Hi, my name is Vic Mankotia. I am with CA Technologies and run the mobile device management and the security business across Asia Pacific and Japan. Recently, we have seen the market change in a dramatic way. There is change in the way people consume and the way people create information on mobile platforms. We recently commissioned a survey, and the survey was about how people are using mobility and securing their assets, their information. At the end of the day, it is all about the right people getting the right access to the right information on the right device. The right device is managed using CA technology software or mobile device management. The survey we released recently was about how people are consuming this technology across the enterprise to make sure that the people across the domain get the right information at the right time.
Can you share some of your special offering for the enterprises in the mobility area?
In the mobility space, many providers talk about mobile device management. What CA talks about is identity management. We talk about access control. We talk about single sign-on. We talk about the right role and compliance given to the right identity, and then authenticating and verifying that information on the right device. The right device was a focus for this study we commissioned recently, which showed us some specific findings, especially in regards to India. Number one, about 46% of all respondents told us that the device issued by a corporation and the software assets issued by the corporation are being used not only just for work purposes, but also for their personal home usage or personal activities on the internet. Why? Because many people believe that the device they have is the one device they need to have. Also, as we see infrastructure built out throughout the subcontinent, there is a serious note here in the study where India was leading in the amount of people using corporate assets for personal use. That's a good trend. Why? Because people carry one device which is managed by a corporation, but very much so is importantly enough why corporations should have, devise and implement a mobile device management strategy or a mobile policy to manage the infrastructure and assets.
Can you share some of the demands of the enterprise CIOs when comes to the BYOD?
We are living what I call in a perfect storm, or three-dimensional chess as I call it, where you have highly connected devices which are consumerized, which are getting cheaper by the day and affordable to many people. At the same time, you have cloud services and SaaS services, or the cloud as the industry calls it. On the third dimension, you have social media. Social media is the way the new generation interacts, the way people interact. With all these three things coming together, the survey showed us that the line between work and play is not a work-life balance. It is a work-life continuum, where identity of the people using that device is the new perimeter. The new DMZ is the identity. Now, when people are working and playing in a connected world, they need one thing. That is not just security or availability or management, but confidence in a connected world.
Okay, according to some of the recent research reports from Gartner, Frost & Sullivan, etc., the main focus of enterprise CEOs in 2014 will be cloud, mobility, and security. So can you share some of your comments on this?
I think all three are connected. The moment you have consumers or users using devices which are mobile, that's mobility or a mobile device. How they are consuming that information or creating it in many cases with the new generation is again the information being created on the cloud platform. Many are using services from third parties. The chief innovation officer is the same as the CIO today. So on the third platform, you have the rise of social media. All three are meeting together in one place, and that is very specific to the way people are using devices in the corporation. Corporations have to invest, develop, and sustain a mobile strategy. That is not a need, but an imperative from a corporate perspective.
What are some of your strategies to engage with enterprise CIOs?
I think first it is education, awareness, where we have to make sure people understand why it is not just a point product solution. It is not just about the mobile device. It is about the access. It is about the application programming interface. It is about the identity, and it is about access. Once the right people get the right access to the right information on the right device, you have a secure and enabled infrastructure.
Would you like to share some of the key messages as a summary?
I think the industry has to learn that security and mobility does not have to be reactive. We have to think about both the mobile policies, the mobile infrastructure, and the security policies and security frameworks as a proactive system. When you build out infrastructure, when you lay out the cables and buy the hardware and acquire the software, we have to make sure that we build in a mobile strategy. We build in a security policy, not being security and mobility not being an afterthought, but being an integral part of the design in the first place. The one thing you must realize is that mobility is going to be extremely important for the CIOs, especially in India. Why? Because the CIO has to figure out how that information is secured while it's created on the mobile device, with the mobile device management policy, with the right identity, with the right access based on role and compliance, using the right APIs to open and nourish those applications. The applications that people are using in any large company, any large organization today are sitting on your mobile platform. They're nourished by databases giving information specific to the needs of the consumer. To make sure that only the right information gets to the right people and those devices are managed, CIOs have to be proactive and build security and mobility into their strategy at the level of designing the architecture, at the time of designing the architecture, because that is going to be the difference between success and greatness in this industry today in the subcontinent.